one and all. We are looking forward to start the event for the day. It's a privilege for us to have all of you for this event. May I now request the dignitaries onto the stage. Honorable Justice Ibrahim Khalifullah, Mr. G. Masilaman, Mr. Arvind Dattar, accompanied by Mr. Sundareswaran, Justice Kumaresh Babu, and Dr. Professor Gauri Ramesh. We start the day with an invocation song, Tamil Thai Vaalthu.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறில் பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே.
May I now invite the guests to light the lamp. We now pay our respects to Mr. R.K. Sir, a floral tribute by all the guests. I also invite Mr. Jeena Senan and all advocates from R.K. Sir's office to join on the stage for a floral tribute. The day started today with a very cold morning drizzle. And of course, last 2 days, we always had this threat of either there going to be a cyclone or a heavy rains. But we were sure of one thing, that nature is not going to hold us back. So the warmth which you have shown by your presence takes care of everything. Now I invite Mr. K. Sundareswaran to give the welcome address.
Good morning. As Mr. Om Prakash said, we have to thank God, Mother Nature, for the lovely weather, keeping this cyclone away. Honorable Mr. Justice Ibrahim Kalifullah, Honorable Mr. Justice K. Kumaresh Babu, Mr. G. Masilamani, Senior Advocate, former Advocate General, former Additional Solicitor General, Mr. Arvind Datar, Senior Advocate, who knows he needs no introduction. The whole country knows him so well. Today being his wedding anniversary, many happy returns of the day. He already told us that his wife is preparing a legal notice for keeping him away from him. Former Chief Justices of the High Courts, former judges of High Courts, galaxy of senior advocates, members of the bar, dignitaries, friends, and family. It is an honor, a privilege, and a very emotional moment for me to stand before you this morning as we are gathered for the inaugural R. Krishnamoorthy Endowment lecture established in memory of my late father, Sri R. Krishnamoorthy, who was the Advocate General for many years of Tamil Nadu. Ladies and gentlemen, I am deeply moved to see this gathering of such distinguished personalities who have taken time to honor his legacy. Today, we not only honor a brilliant lawyer, but also a man whose life was marked with integrity, humility, dignity, and an unwavering commitment to justice. We are deeply honored to have with us Honorable Justice Mr. F.M. Ibrahim Kalifullah, presiding over today's program. Sir, your presence adds immense grace and meaning to this occasion. It also gives me great pleasure to welcome Honorable Mr. Justice K. Kumaresh Babu, who has been very closely associated with my late father and our own family. I also extend a warm welcome to Mr. G. Masilamani uncle as we call him, Senior Advocate, whose distinguished presence truly is an honor. His association with my father was for over 6 decades. It is my very proud privilege to welcome Mr. Arvind P. Datar, Senior Advocate, one of the top lawyers in the country. As today's speaker, he is one of the most respected legal personalities in the country. His scholarship and clarity of thought has enriched Indian jurisprudence in profound ways. My father often said that law is not static and it must evolve with society. How fitting then that today's inaugural lecture, to be delivered by Mr. Arvind Datar, explores the march of constitutional law, the unknown and remarkable role of the Madras High Court. My father held this court in very high esteem. It shaped his thinking, his convictions, and his life's work. He would have been deeply gratified to know that this endowment begins its journey in the very halls that defined his professional life. Those who knew him well would agree his greatness was rooted equally in his character and in his intellect. When we decided to establish this endowment under the aegis of the Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University, our intent was quite simple: to ensure that the values of my father would continue to inspire future generations of young lawyers. I sincerely wish to thank Dr. Ambedkar Law University and Mr. Om Prakash, Senior Advocate and Syndicate Member, who has been instrumental in instituting this endowment. The endowment is created for the purpose of sponsoring students of the university selected to participate in international moot court competitions and to conduct the annual memorial lecture in law to be delivered by eminent personalities. Our aspiration is that in the years to come, this annual lecture would attract eminent jurists and thinkers from across the country, creating a tradition and reflection and learning that strengthens the legal community at large. In this way, the values of my father cherished: intellectual curiosity, ethical clarity, and service to society will continue to influence future generations. On behalf of my family, my sisters, Radha and Renu, I sincerely thank you all who have joined us today. Your presence here honors not merely the memory of one man, but the larger ideals he stood for: the independence of the judiciary, the integrity of the bar, and the timeless spirit of justice that guides this court. To quote the legal luminary, Mr. K. Parasaran, former Attorney General of India, in his tribute to my father, I quote, "As a student of the Bhagavad Gita, I must remind myself that the Atma is eternal and that what we call death is but a change of garment. What remains with us is the fragrance of a life lived in accordance with Dharma." Unquote. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite Justice Umaresh Babu to felicitate the guest for the day. He will hand over a memento to Honorable Justice Ibrahim Khalifullah. Now he would hand over a memento to Mr. G. Maslaman. I request to hand over the memento to Mr. Dattar as a token of our office. As we had been looking forward to organize this inaugural annual lecture, the discussions had started about a month back. Many thoughts had come as to who we will be inviting to be the chief guest and to preside over the day. There was none other than Justice Ibrahim Khalifullah. Many a people whomsoever I have spoken to had said that he had a very long association with RK sir. It would be a honor that he presides over the program and he is invited as the chief guest for the day. It's our pleasure to have Honorable Justice Ibrahim Khalifullah. May I now request Honorable Judge to address the gathering.
In the name of God Almighty, the most beneficent and merciful, I stand before you all on this momentous occasion of the inaugural annual memorial lecture in the great memory of the legendary leader of the bar, Sri R. Krishnamoorthy, with whom I was associated nearly about 40 years. I started my career as a lawyer on 20th August 1975. I used to see him in the courts. His chamber was near my chamber. I was in 64. I think his chamber was 65. Yes. Therefore, I could see him move to the court in the morning briskly, along with Mr. Muthukumar Swamy. Unfortunately, he is not with us today. And a baton of his juniors. He will be having very many cases in the courts. And he will be very busy, but at the same time, I have always seen him with a smile in his face. He was never tensed. That was Sri R. Krishnamoorthy. My acquaintance with the legendary advocate, initially it was by wishing him in the morning, because I had the opportunity to see him moving to the court briskly between 10 and 10:30, when we all used to rush to the court. And slowly I started moving closer to him, with the advantage of Sri Muthukumar Swamy, with whom I developed a friendship, and through him I started getting introduced myself with Sri R. Krishnamoorthy. And from our office, then we started engaging him in very many cases in the High Court. And that way, I was able to move more closer to Sri R. Krishnamoorthy, since I had to instruct him for the cases for which we engaged. And I used to go to his house. The office was in the upstairs, where I used to interact with Mr. Jinasenan, Ayaturai, Mr. Wilson, all of them. And I was watching when they were paying floral tributes to Sri R. Krishnamoorthy. ஒருத்தர் கூட வயசாகல இன்னும், எல்லாம் அதே அன்னைக்கு பார்த்த மாதிரி அப்படியே இருக்காங்க. ஸ்ரீராம்னு எவ்ரிபடி. So Karthikeyan, Bharani also used to be with them. Every one of them. And a pattern of the juniors. That is the greatness of Sri R. Krishnamoorthy. everyone who was associated with him in his office, every one of them are leading a very respected life in the society and also in the profession. I think that's a greatness of Sri R. Krishnamurthy, which we all of us can cherish. Therefore, whenever I went to his office, I have to initially meet all of them, say hello to them, get some coffee or tea with them, and then meet Sri R. Krishnamurthy. And his general practice is different. Whereas in our office, we were concentrating on cases relating to management and labor. Mainly, we were appearing for corporates. And many of the cases related to workmen and the disputes relating to non-employment, conditions of labor, etc. Though the subject was something different, not his regular field, I had seen him that whenever I instructed, he used to get a full grasp of the issue, the facts, and the law. And the next day he used to appear with the utmost ease in the court. That was the greatness of that senior lawyer. And that way, in many cases, by virtue of Sri R.K.'s performance in the court and how he used to address the court, it used to be so very pleasant. And the judges used to feel very at ease and then give him the full audience, and that way, whomsoever had the support of Sri R.K. were able to deal with their cases more successfully and to the advantage of their clients. By virtue of my acquaintance, it got still more strengthened. And he, in fact, even before I could assist him in many cases through my office, it appears he was closely watching me in the courts, which I was not aware of. But one day he called me and then said, that time I think it was governor's rule. I think Mr. Alexander was the governor. It was governor's rule. He called me and said, Mr. Khalifullah, I have recommended your name for your appointment as standing counsel for Tamil Nadu Electricity Board to deal with all labor cases. He was not so very closely known to me, but as a lawyer, he found that this boy is doing well. And in the interest of the public institution, he felt that the institution should have the benefit of this young man. And that's how he gave me that recognition. And I was appointed as the standing counsel of the Tamil Nadu Electricity Board. It was in the early 90s. And a little later, in the late 90s, then came the surprise invitation to me from Sri R.K. He called me again. By that time, I was closely associated with him. I was almost interacting with him every week or 10 days. And then he called me once and then told me, Mr. Khalifullah, you gave me your biodata. That is how my elevation to the Madras High Court the route was made, created by Sri R. Krishnamurthy. I am always grateful to him. And that great gentleman, out of on merits and out of pure love and knowing that this gentleman will do some service to the society, he might have thought, and then he called me and recommended when Justice Agarwal was the Chief Justice, and that's how I could become a judge of the Madras High Court. And that gentleman's, he was so very nice, and he was his interest in me was so very good and pleasant. That initial step which he made paved the way for going up to the Supreme Court. It was something. But for Sri R. Krishnamoorthy, I don't think I would have got that opportunity to have render my service in the Supreme Court. So in every respect, I found that a thorough gentleman, a very good lawyer, and a very good father. I have seen him in his house. Whenever I went there, I have met Sundar's mother also, Mrs. Krishnamoorthy also. She used to be very kind, and very many occasions I had the occasion to get her warm in the house. As a father, I have seen his love and affection for his children, Mr. Sundar and Mrs. Radha Venkatachalam, I think. And I still remember. And because I know her personally, she used to come to Karaikudi, my native place, where they had that Tamil Nadu chemical products company, in which Mr. Venkatachalam was involved. Therefore, as a father, Sri Krishnamoorthy was that status as a father, he made a mark. And then, as a senior to all his juniors, as I said just now, we had seen with our own eyes how all his juniors who were with him are so very well settled in life. As a senior, what best he can do for his colleagues he has done. And in fact, Mr. Muthukumar Swamy, who was with him, was later became the Advocate General, and Mr. Ayathurai, who is also unfortunately not with us today, he was also the additional Advocate General. And we have Justice Kumaresh Babu here, a judge, a sitting judge of the Madras High Court from the office of Sri R. Krishnamoorthy. Many more such credits to Sri R. Krishnamoorthy. Therefore, as a father, as a senior, as a friend, he was a very good friend to many. I have seen Mr. G. Masilamani. We were talking about him. The relationship is, as Mr. Sundar said, it was more than 60 years, 6 decades. Mr. Somayaji, very many such colleagues, along with Sri Krishnamoorthy, they were all very good friends. And as a friend, also Sri Krishnamoorthy excelled in his life. Yeah, he was a very good guide to all his relatives. That much I could say. It will not be proper for me to refer to those things, but he was a very good guide to all his relatives who were around him because of his knowledge, he was of his status as an Advocate General, twice he held the office of Advocate General, In fact, even in two different regimes, he continued as an Advocate General. He was those who were in the helm of affairs. They called him and said, "No, you continue. We don't want you to resign. You please continue," which I knew personally. So that much of respect he commanded from the administration of the state. A leader of the bar. See, Madras Bar Association, he was president for, I think, 2 terms. He was the president of the Madras Bar Association. In very many other associations also, he was holding key posts. So that way, he was a good, overall, we can say only say that a thorough gentleman to the core, whom we can look for our career in the as the legal fraternity can just see his career as guidance. We therefore today's this endowment and the inaugural lecture, which is now organized by the endowment, and the first lecture to be delivered by Sri Aravind Dattar. When we come to Mr. Aravind Dattar, as Mr. Sundareswaran said, he is now topmost lawyer in the country, a constitutional lawyer. And I have seen, we have the constitution by Basu, by Shirvai, and then comes Mr. Dattar. He has written 4 volumes of the constitution, 3 volumes, the constitution, and a very well written book where we will be able to get the necessary inputs with reference to A to Z of the constitution. We will get the whatever material we need, we can get it from that book. Therefore, as a constitutional lawyer and an author of the constitution, he is the best person to address this lecture, March of Constitutional Law, the unknown and remarkable role of Madras High Court. We will be greatly benefited when we hear the lecture of Sri Dattar, and my good wishes to him on this prestigious function. About the Constitution, the evolution of our Constitution between 1946 and 1949, which is a historical one. I had the opportunity to go through these constitutional proceedings. I had seen that the very first day when Dr. Sachidananda Sinha, the barrister, who was the temporary president of the Constitution, he presided over the first meeting, and then the president-elect was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. He was unanimously elected by the Constitutional Assembly, and I'm just referring to a brief historical background of our evolution of our Constitution, because when we hear Mr. Dattar, we will be able to appreciate. When the first motion of the preamble of the Constitution was moved by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, there was a preliminary objection raised by Dr. Jayakar, one of the He was a former member of the Privy Council, Dr. Jayakar. And he raised a preliminary objection. He said, this constitution which we plan to make is going to be Magna Carta for the whole of the people of this country. And two set of people are not present. They are the Muslims and the Rajas. They have moved the Privy Council as against the proceedings of the Constitutional Assembly. And he said, when we are going to prepare a constitution, let every one of us join together in that process. And therefore, he said, in the absence of that two significant groups, it will not be proper, and therefore, on that ground, he raised a preliminary objection. See, the greatness of Dr. Ambedkar in that situation, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, after hearing Dr. Jayakar, invited Dr. Ambedkar to address on this issue as to what is your viewpoint on this preliminary objection. It's a historical one. I am only quoting this particular instance and then leave the podium for Sri Datar to address. Dr. Ambedkar, who raised and then said, I was thinking that my chance will come only after about a week or so. And President, you have called me. That gentleman spoke for three long days about this preliminary objection, and he supported Dr. Jayakar. But the preliminary objection was overruled, and then that is how the proceedings went on. And I must state, when we look into the evolution of our constitution, we find that there are three periods: pre-independent era, the era when this constitution came to be evolved, and the present era. I find both in the pre-independent era and the era when the constitution came to be framed, every one of them, nearly about 286 members, joined the Constitutional Assembly to frame this constitution. Every one of them was a statesman. Every one of them. தேசியவாதிகள். ஒருத்தரை கூட நீங்கள் வந்து you cannot find any personal interest in any one of them. Every one of them was a statesman, and that is how this great book, this constitution, came to be evolved and was dedicated to the nation. And that situation continued immediately after the coming into force of this constitution on and after 26th January 1950. The assembly proceedings went on between 1946 and 1949. And on 26th January we got this great book. And for about 20 long years, the situation continued. The statesmen continued to be with us, and they were able to guide us, and the society was greatly benefited by those great statesmen. And today I am searching for one of them. I am not able to find even one single person of that caliber today. But the Bible which was brought by those great gentlemen is with us, and it is our right and responsibility, duty to protect it. I would only quote what Dr. Rajendra Prasad said when this constitution was dedicated to this nation. I will just quote his speech and then leave it at that, which I happened to note in one of my judgments, and this is what he said, to quote. He said, "We have provided in the Constitution, because we all belong to the family of legal fraternity, I am emboldened to place this quote before this great audience. We have provided in the Constitution for a judiciary which will be independent. It is difficult to suggest anything more to make the Supreme Court and the High Courts independent of the influence of the executive. There is an attempt made in the Constitution to make even the lower judiciary independent of any outside or extraneous influence. One of our articles makes it easy for the state governments to introduce separation of executive from judicial functions and placing the magistracy, which deals with criminal cases, on similar footing as civil courts. I can only express the hope that this long overdue reform will soon be introduced in the states." This quote he made in order to ensure that of the three wings of the state, the people have the highest hope, faith, and dependence on this wing of, that is, the judiciary. And I wish that we take guidance from whatever Mr. Dattari is going to address today of the march of our Constitution and the unknown and remarkable role which our Madras High Court played in that respect. With these few words, I take leave of you. Thank you very much for the audience. I also thank Dr. Ambedkar Law University, under whose aegis this endowment is being, the celebration is being held, and this endowment should, every year we should get more and more of such speeches from great men, and then we all should be benefited by that. Thank you very much once again.